Okay, good evening, everybody. It's Shelley Johns here, and I'm a Global Expansion Team member from Gympie, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the call tonight. And yeah, so I'm really excited about this call because we've obviously just had our Adelaide Spectacular.
No.
Yeah, so basically we're going to go through everything that we got from the Spectacular, who went. There's a lot of people that would say very first time, so I want to hear from everybody. So I put a few photos together. I know there's many, many more, but I just put a few slides and things like that through. So let's get on with it. This was our special guest speaker, Enrique Carrillo. He was amazing. He's a 50K Pres team. He's just had an amazing story, really inspiring, and I know so many people got so much out of this event. So I'll just click through some of the photos. So this is the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. So this was just on the weekend. So we're all fresh back from it. I know everyone's super inspired and motivated. And these events basically combine all of Australia and New Zealand. And you get lots of people sharing right throughout the weekend. There's lots of recognition, product launches, new events that are coming up. And we always get these amazing guest speakers. So what I'm going to do is I'll just click through some more of the photos. So this is how it looked. The atmosphere was fantastic, and yeah, we had so much fun. It was a really great weekend. It was jam packed. So I'll just run through some of the photos, but I'm going to backtrack as people want to share. Okay. So I think what I'll do is I'll just bring up Lydia. I know I got to meet you for the first time on the weekend. So would you like to come up and share?
Yep, can you hear me, Shelley?
Yeah, you might just crank your volume up just a little bit.
Okie dokie. How's that? Is that a little bit better or?
Yep, that's perfect. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, so what did you want, Shelley? Do you want me just to sort of share about the weekend or?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love you to.
Yep. Yes. So I mean, quite a few of the spectaculars you have as well. So I think it was my 7th. And to be honest, it was probably one that more resonated with myself. And, the girl that I had there, Marcel, with me. I think, I don't know, it does really come down to your guest speakers. And if it was a spectacular to be at, it was definitely this one. I think a lot of what he said, applied to myself and my family. It's the first time ever, I think, apart from one other lady that did speak there about her son and the pancakes. I can't think of her name, Chris somebody, to sit and listen to somebody and from one extreme to the other as in emotion. That's what I said, like it just resonated with me and my family, like tears one minute, laughing the next, and empathy for somebody that's standing up there. And I was just blown away by a lot of the guest speakers this year. And I mean, maybe it's because I've seen a couple of them in the past, and I do know their stories and I've learnt their testimonials and I've learnt their business stories, but I just felt really comfortable this year. I don't know what it was. And, I just think it was a good Marcel to be at, because she heard what she needed to hear. We can, as coaches on our downlines, tell stories. This is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. But to hear it from other people from the front of the room, I think a lot of it, Marcel was blown away with this year compared to the 2 previous years. But yeah, overall, it was just an amazing weekend. Like, yeah, I mean, we're unreal, I thought.
Yeah, so
and I sort of look forward to it, and I was so, can you hear me?
Yep, I can. I was saying this is you here and Marcel, and you are here.
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, and that was another thing too. Like we've only been on 2 of these calls, I think, or possibly 3, and just going there and knowing more and more and more people. Like that's what I said to Marcel. This is what makes it different. Like the first couple of years being here, I think I sat on my bloody own for the first one. My coach said, "There's your seat. I'm going down to VIP seating." And each year, I'm thankful to be able to take somebody with me. And getting there and meeting you guys in person. I mean, that can grow my business in itself, if that makes sense. Like just being there, touching base with you guys and, and meeting you in person, it makes you even more keener to get on these calls and not miss, whatever's going on out there. So, that in itself can sort of grow my business, I feel anyway, and personally.
Absolutely. And it was really great meeting you in person after we'd seen you on the calls and that. And so I'm assuming it takes a fair bit for you to be able to get to get to these trainings, because you're in a country area. So
Yeah.
So what do you have to do to get there?
I was able to this year to actually drop the kids off because of the date change and being in February instead of January. So for me and my family, that meant that, we're self-employed truck drivers. So it meant that hubby didn't have to take Friday off work. So that really, that ticked the box in itself. So I was able to drop the kids off at school. Girlfriend picked me back up at home. We flew out down the road, which is 13 kilometres, to the Fangirl Airport. We pay an absolute fortune for that ticket, but it is just what it is. Convenient, straight out of the airport, 13 kilometres from Billo. On the Friday morning at 9 o'clock, flew into Brisbane at 10, sat there, waited for Marcel and her daughter to travel 4.5 hours from Gundawindi, so we could travel together. We booked a 2 o'clock flight. I had to pay, because I'm not up here with family, so I had to pay a babysitter to come and pick up the children at 3 o'clock that afternoon until hubby got home that evening, like 9, 10 o'clock that night. And Rick had to take 2 days off work. We're self-employed, take that time off work until I, flew back in again. Like, we actually had to leave at bit after 4 o'clock, 4:15, the centre on Sunday, to be able to catch that flight back to from Adelaide to Brisbane, and then I catch a continuing flight the next morning at 8 o'clock, to get me to fly back into Billo to relieve Rick and let him go to work and be back home with the kids. But we had a Bishop Day on Monday. Would you read about it? So the kids had a day off school, but normally, it would have been a little bit easier. Rick could have got the kids at school by 8 and gone off to work. But I think the cost of it all, it's $1,000 probably by the time you cap it. But it's $1,000 spent well. It's an investment into your future. So I don't get to many trainings throughout the year. So you're only investing in yourself, really. It doesn't cost you much, really, doesn't. And that's what they spoke about on the weekend. $81 to start in this business for your VIP pack.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you, Lydia. It was so nice to meet you in person, and Marcel, and thank you for sharing that, just the value and the reason why you go and what it takes for you to get there. So thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move along. I know, Tash, you had, just trying to find where you are. Oh, there you are, darling. So I know that you got a lot out of the training, and I know you've got some favourites in that. So I've got the photo here. So this is the only one I can find for you. But yeah, so if you'd like to share what you got out of the weekend.
Thanks, Shelley. So it was an amazing weekend, and I resonated a lot with the personal development stuff over the weekend. And like Lydia said, there was tears, there was laughter, and Emily Revere, she's just, I don't know. We first met her at STS, and she's just an amazing lady. I remember I actually spoke to her at the party on Saturday night, and I just said to her, I said, when I first seen you, I just thought you were like this untouchable goddess, that was just up there on a pedestal. And listening to her talk her story and her passion for just women in the business and everything, she just was amazing and just made it seem that we're all on the same level no matter what pin we have. A quote thing that I wrote down from her, you can't take things with you to the other side, but you can take who you are with you. So I think the biggest thing for me from like Emily, Mark Paulson, and Enrique was just be authentic, like be honest, and that's where the people that we're trying to put into our community will come to us tenfold, because at the end of the day you want people, build your tribe, build friendships. That's another thing that was spoken about with it as well from Emily, that that's what it's about. We're just one big family, and it was great meeting people. Like we got to meet Lydia and Mervyn, people you generally just see on Facebook or on the calls, and to actually have them come up and give you a hug and know that they're real, it was lovely. So every time we have these, this is our second spectacular, and your little Herbalife family just keeps on growing. So so it was a great weekend. So and then at the airport, because I waited for Cherie, I did a walk and talk with the young girl where I bought a sandwich from, and I actually gave her a flyer. I was very proud of myself. So I was one up on Ross, Shelley. So it was scary, but I thought, no, I'm going to do it, because that is one thing walk and talks are a big fear thing for me. So yeah, so I that was my highlight for the weekend. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it was, she was an amazing speaker, Emily. So, and I think coming away from these events too, because sometimes when you're out of your environment, you can sort of talk to more people because you know, well, I might not see them ever again. So I'll just take that 5 seconds of courage that Ross talked about from the training and just do it. And, you know, you just never know who it's going to be. So thank you for sharing.
That's okay.
Cool. Okay. So, Anne-Marie, I know you had a really special experience. I would love you to share what happened for you, my darling. And it was so great to be able to spend that weekend with you as well, that college jump. This is Anne-Marie here and here. So, and here. So go ahead, hun.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, we basically had to wait for him to, I think, because there was people that qualified to, I think, have dinner with him or something, and we sort of like worked out to actually be out the front and just see, because he's got to actually walk past us and just hopefully see that, you know, I can get a photo. So luckily I was. So, which I think is, I think it was inspiring to actually get there, and it's sort of opened my eyes a little, because I think they, you know, this training, if you don't go, it might, that training that might mean that you actually hear or see something that can get you, you know, going to the next level or whatever. So I think that's what I got out of the weekend as well. So pretty awesome, I think.
Cool. And didn't you say something after you had a photo with Enrique? I'm sure you said something to us. What was it? Can you remember?
And what I said to him?
Yeah, no, what you said to us after you had the photo.
Well, I know we did a high five. It was like, yay, got it.
I thought you said.
That's right. Oh, yeah, and he smells so good too. Yeah. Forgot about that. Oh, yeah, that bit. Yeah.
That was so cool. So what a highlight. I'm so happy that happened. That took a little bit of persistence, that's for sure. You know, I did get, I went around the back. I tried to organise it the day before, and then I went that day and I went behind to the stage, and George was there, and I went up to George and he just said flat out no. And then in my mind I just went, you know what, there's how am I going to make this happen? I don't care that, you know, George said no. I'm still going to keep going. So thank you, Jennifer, for really helping us find a solution for that. I really appreciate it. It's, you know, if you want something bad enough to happen, I can tell you right now, if you persist, it will happen for you. So so happy that you've got that memory, Anne-Marie, and it was great to spend some quality time with you as well. So thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Darling. Okay, so I know we've got a whole bunch of crew here at the Awesome Lifestyle Centre on the Gold Coast. So I thought if some of the guys that want to come up and share, just make sure, you might need to come closer so we can see you and speak. Make sure you're speaking loud enough. And I've also got some of the HFF slides as well for you. So let's unmute this crew. Hi, guys.
Oh, Kerry. Hi, Michelle.
Hey.
Are we okay? I've just been volunteered first.
Okay, well, let me just flick through to the HFF stuff, because I did do a slide especially, but it will come up. I can't see where the arrow is. Where is it? There it is. Found it. Okay, here we go. Ta-da.
Oh, you're going to do your own. They're trying to get out of it. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having us on tonight. It's pretty cool, a whole bunch of us here, except now I can't see you. So, yeah, look, you know, Spectacular was absolutely amazing, as it always is. This year was particularly good for me. I loved the theme, you know, learning from the past and having confidence in the future, and absolutely love the fact that we had all the people who've been around a while sharing their stories. But of course, for us, for a few of us, 24 riders and 17 crew, our spectacular kind of started a week early because, you know, the ride is just absolutely amazing. It's not easy, it's tough, depending, of course, your fitness level, depends on the weather. But the biggest thing out of the ride, apart from the fact that everybody's there to raise money and raise awareness for HFF, which is awesome. I mean, that's our ultimate goal, is to get the funds right up there so we can help more and more children, particularly here in Australia, but of course around the world. But one of the big things about our bike ride and the whole event is that, you know, you've got a whole bunch of people getting together on a Friday afternoon in Torquay, and a good deal of them have never met each other before. We've got people coming from New Zealand, WA, South Australia, Victoria, Queensland, of course, New South Wales. So pretty much most of the states are covered in Australia. We're just waiting for some from the ACT, the Northern Territory, and Tassie. Big hint to anybody who knows anybody out there. But, you know, we all walk into this room, or this year was out into a park. Most of the people had never met each other before. And then within a couple of hours, we all felt like we were family. And it's amazing what this event does for people. There is no pin level whatsoever. I had a conversation with someone, I think Wednesday afternoon, which is our last afternoon before riding it on Thursday morning. And she said, I don't even know what pin level people are. And I said, that's the best thing about this whole event. You know, it doesn't matter what level of the marketing plan, doesn't matter how long you've been around, we're all there helping each other, encouraging each other, inspiring each other, motivating each other every single centimetre of the way, because some days it feels like it's taking a centimetre by centimetre rather than kilometre by kilometre. And the personal growth, guys, that you get out of this event leading into Spectacular is absolutely amazing. So you've already hit some incredible mental challenges as well as physical, but it's the mental challenge is the biggest thing. And then walking into Spectacular, already grown so much yourself and realising what you're capable of doing, and then to absorb all the stuff from Spectacular and Enrique, just absolutely unreal. Massive congratulations to everybody that rode and all our crew, and massive thanks to everybody involved, and to all of you guys who bought a raffle ticket or put some money in one of the cans, or donating every month online. Whatever you're doing, you know, thank you for your support, thank you for your encouragement, and thank you for your money.
Thank you, Terry. Yeah, it was just amazing to watch all the news feed come through of all, you know, what was happening and the extreme temperatures and everything you had to go through. So yeah, we're really proud of you. It was just quite emotional, really, and just yeah, I loved when everyone got up and shared, especially some of the first timers, and what they went through and how everyone helped each other and they didn't leave anyone behind. They you know, they went back and helped everyone. I loved that. Yeah, that is Herbalife, really, isn't it?
It is, and that's it. That is Herbalife, and the personal development you get in that 1 week, a lot of people take several years to achieve. So, you know, I really want to emphasise that, guys, because if you're thinking about being part of the event, think seriously about it, because what you'll get from it, it's like, who was it? Karen Jones says, you can't describe a snowflake. You can't describe what you get from this week of the event, the HFF bike ride. You just can't. You just got to be there and experience it. And you're a better, you know, I think each and every person, even Jenny, I mean, how much personal development has this lady had all her life? The things that Jenny realised and learned and discovered, and, you know, again, no pin levels. It was bloody awesome. So, you know, Jenny got in very comfortably and got in and dug in deep and helped. And I mean, that's what she came for, as crew. So there was no airs and graces. There was no, pardon me, your chairman's club. It was like, oh, you do it too. And she learned to drive a motorhome. Anyway, that's enough from me.
Cool, thank you, Kerry. So did you have any of your other crew there? I can see there's who's it been? It was their first time, or
Lynette and Pauline rode for the first time. Come on, you two, you got to come forward. They can't see you. You both have to do it. I just finished telling you how much personal growth you had. Talk.
Okay. Okay, we're just getting organised. Well, as you know, I had to train super hard for this bike ride. I didn't know how to ride a bike. in the middle of September. So I actually had a lot of personal growth just going through the training to actually get to the bike ride, pushing myself past my limits, way past my limits on multiple occasions during training so that I would be ready for this bike ride. But the people in there are just amazing, and our awesome team was just amazing.
Awesome.
We worked really hard together during the ride, and like we were right behind the pain train, which was just absolutely amazing, where I thought, you know, a few months ago I would be one of the last ones coming in at the back. So
not the second group.
Yeah, not the second group. So and just the people, all different people, is just amazing to meet them. And yeah, I don't know, it's an amazing experience. I can't put it into words either.
Lots of tears though, hey? Of joy and
Yes.
pain. And...
Yes, lots.
I was my first time as well, and I was a bike ride prior to coming on it, but had never ridden to this level or for this long or anything like that. So again, had no idea of how tough it was going to be, or whether I would be able to achieve it. So yeah, it was just absolutely fantastic. The crew was just out of this world, and just seeing their faces when you go around a corner and just knowing that they're there and their happiness to see you is just really, really brilliant. It was the best thing for me, was just sort of seeing the crew. You know, you don't know which corner they're going to be round, and you go around the corner and they're not there, and then you keep going and they're still not there, and then you think, oh God, and then they finally see them and you just want to cuddle them. And you got lots of cuddles. That was really, really good.
Cool. And what's your product result, Pauline? Can you share it?
My product result? Yes. Yeah. Okay. I've been on the products for nearly 5 years. I started just not to lose weight. It was more for the health benefits. I have lost 8 kilos, but that wasn't the main thing for me. I just feel really, really great. I'm, riding a lot better, took up running. So I just, and then the 24 range over the ride was just so good. There was just no muscle soreness at all. We just recovered and had really good averages day after day after day, and it was just mind-blowing. Really, really mind-blowing. These products are just so fantastic.
The massive consumption though, Shelley.
Yeah.
We consumed a lot of product over the week, but it paid off.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for sharing. So I'll just flick through. I know, I think I saw Sue. Sue, I got to meet you on during the weekend. So did you just want to come and share what you got out of the weekend?
I don't know how to do that.
You there, Sue?
Yeah, I'm here, Shelley.
Great.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. What was one of your highlights from the weekend?
I just think it was, I missed last year's because of being illness and that, but I don't think I could have come back to a better extravagant, spectacular. The passion, the emotion, it was just absolutely brilliant, and I just got at it. Just love everyone, have that positive attitude, and people will come to you.
Yep.
So even if you get upset, I love you, and all that. Just I don't know, the kindness, camaraderie. I think all of it. It was just absolutely a brilliant, spectacular.
Excellent. Well, it was lovely to meet you, and thank you for joining us on our calls.
Thank you.
Okay, so Jennifer, I just wanted you to share a bit before we go on to our personal development component. And Jan, did you want to share too?
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to come up? I know you work really well together, you two. It's kind of like a show when you are together.
All right, I'll start before Jennifer, because Jennifer's got a bit more to say than me, because I'll keep it short. But for me, I think it would have to have been one of the most inspiring spectaculars I've been to, and as you all know, I've been to many. I think several things that came out of it is obviously the past for the future, but also the passion and the excitement. We really need to get back to the basics. That's what they covered. So we all have to remember all the basics, and we need to share the Mark Hughes basics with everybody, because I think some of the basics have got lost over time. And I really feel that, particularly with Zoom, we can certainly carry that forward, because the basics is what made this company grow to where it is today. All the techniques and everything help, but the basics really what is the heart and soul of Herbalife. And the passion and the excitement. I think we always need to be reminded about the passion and excitement. We're all excited and passionate, but we need to show it more, because I think we all sort of hide behind things and don't show it enough. So that's the three things that I really got from it. But I take the hats off to the bike riders, I tell you, and the helpers. Jennifer did spectacularly up on stage, explaining more in depth about what the riders and everything go through, because a lot of people have got no idea what these riders have to do and how they have to train and what they go through on the bike road. So Jennifer did an absolutely spectacular job on that. So for me, it's about inspiration. We always need to be inspired. And the more you hang around, Gary always taught, the more you hang around the honey pot, you get drips of honey. And that's exactly why we need to go to every event that we possibly can. I know it's hard for some people, but pick the major workshops that you can attend, particularly as you're moving up the marketing plan, like the World Team School, the Active World Team School, the Summit, all those sort of things that will be spoken about shortly. But it is about talking to people. And even I got the courage to talk to somebody new the other day. On the plane coming home, the flight attendant guy asked me, was it coming to a conference? I said, no, I'm coming home from a conference. And I said, from Herbalife. He said, oh, I only know a little bit about Herbalife. I said, we're a fantastic health and nutrition company. Have you ever used any of the products? He said, no. I said, great, I've got a sample of Lift Off and hydration. Went and got those two products, gave it to him with my name and phone number on the back. So who knows where it'll go? But at least I spoke to somebody.
Yeah, that's great.
So you just never know. So over to Jenny.
Thank you.
Okay. My mind goes in 60 million directions all the time, because there's so much inspiration. But I do want to start saying that the spectacular came about because of endless phone calls, conference calls that we had, putting ideas together, asking everyone to put in questions, what do you want to hear, how do you want to put, and then, when they got some ideas and formats on that, and then, who was going to be the best speaker, who should they pair together, I loved it when they had some of the, really long time people like 40, etc., and people have been for a long time in the business, because that's just so relevant. And so often they want to see the new and, fast-moving people that are moving fast through the pins and up the ladder. But, when people have been around for a long time in the business, and it doesn't matter how far they've got up the ladder, it shows the absolute success of the business and the success for them, because, they've been happy with the business wherever they are. They've made an income that's kept them going and fed their families or whatever it is. And there are many circumstances why people don't move on, families, having babies, you name it. But there are so many people who've been around a long time who have the most amazing information and are the best trainers in the world. So, I was really glad to see that. I loved all the short, sharp, stories, instead of hearing just from, one person for a long time. We had a lot of different people up there. So all different ages, people, all different backgrounds, and so everybody could get a really good feeling about, where people came from and, how long they've been in business, such a variety of, families and single people with children. So everybody knew that this is a business that anybody can do. So after putting it all together with all the guys putting it together and the amount of people that did this work, firstly, I really like you guys to write to corporate and say, you know, what you thought of it, you know, and if you thought it was a great spectacular or a great spectacular, just to sort of say thanks to them, because the endless hours they put in has been amazing. And we were giving them all such a hard time for a long time, because as we know, that things have been going in a different direction for a little while, because we were talked into sort of concentrating on being, you know, good customer orientation and retail. And so in going in that direction, a lot of people felt they didn't have permission then to keep being more rah-rah in the business or recruiting. What I got about the weekend finally, and it's a worldwide thing, is that, you know, because of a lot of people behind the scenes working, and I know a lot of the CC and FC and top presidents team and people around the world that have got a lot of knowledge, they've been hounding the company about going back to the old Mark Hughes way. And we certainly heard that over the weekend. And, you know, it was just wonderful hearing some of Mark Polson, you know, and a lot of the guys talking those words of Mark Hughes from the old days, the things that we're all familiar with. So simple, fun, simple, magical sort of stuff all the time. So, you know, I loved it all. I just, you know, was so excited. I felt like, you know, we're really on the way up. I could just feel that paddling. I felt it for a while. And the other thing I loved, the community and comradeship. Well, we certainly found that, you know, going to the bike ride. As they say, what you don't know, you don't know. So if you don't get to the spectacular, there's people you don't meet, there's stories you don't hear. And going to the bike ride, you know, really, really made me start realising what it's like to be a bike rider. And I guess I heard that a lot from Lynette too, because she said, you know, you're riding and you just wait to get around that corner, as Pauline said, to see some lights at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, to see some people on the road, you know, and know that that's part of the race is over. I can stop, I can have a rest, you know, and the emotion that's there. They want to cry, you want to cry, but you don't cry because you know that you're still doing that leadership thing of saying, okay, you know, great, you're amazing, here's food, you know, and they know exactly what they need at each time, whether it's hydration, whether it's shake, or whether it's fruit, or whatever it is, you know, they just know. And, you know, honestly, I was just so excited and amazed at seeing these people, how they've got it so much together, the organisation. And I thought, wow, these people are Herbalife people. Apart from their business, you know, their heart is just amazing. And so I know they're going to take that out into their business. So if they're individually in different groups and teams, they'll be sharing that with other people. And as we say, you become more Herbalife all the time, you know, and there is nothing like this business. Even today, the World Vision guy rang me up to talk about some stuff. And when I was talking to him about the bike ride, he was all ears. You know, I think he was thinking, I didn't know Herbalife people like that. I didn't know you had that kind of heart. So, you know, it is amazing. All I can say is that we're on our way up, you know, and as I said, 100 million in retail, that's our goal. They gave us permission to go to work. We didn't have permission to go to work for a few years. We were sort of all over the place, you know. We were supposed to just retail, you know, we were supposed to just recruit through retail. It was very confusing. Now they're saying, you know, we're working together to do 100 million in Australia. They didn't put a date on it for next year, but it's up to us to go 3 times, 10 times faster. And when you work together in a team, you know, then you've got the enthusiasm to go faster, just like the bike ride. You know, they had mentoring each other, and that's what it was like for all of us oldies in the old days when we knew that we worked in a big office and we worked, you know, teamwork all the time. And, you know, the amount of stories, so people can work together in groups, you know, get together, you know, at least, you know, every week and not just wait for an STS. You know, if you can work with people, so that when you want to bring someone into the business, they're going to come into a room and there's going to be a number of other stories there. So you're bound to recruit that person and get them into the business because of the amount of stories. So you must work together. It's so important. You know, not this loner stuff. yes, some people are good by themselves and they do well. But in the end, the other person you're recruiting still wants to hear other stories. So, you know, it's an amazing year. It was an amazing, spectacular. Yeah, I'm really pleased that, you know, the guys on the bike ride got their 10 minutes of glory. And I really liked all the hugs I got from the guys. That was good. And it was interesting getting our little interloper on the side of the stage, which, you know, gave us all the chance to get our nerves together when we had this guy trying to gate crash our party. And that was very interesting too. So that was it. Look, guys, you have to go to everything. You've got to go to the SDS, you've got to go to the kickoff, you've got to go to every local office. You know, you've got to go to get the stories.
Thanks, Jen.
Cool, thank you, Jennifer. That's awesome, and we really appreciate everything that you put in. I know you do a lot behind the scenes, and you've done a lot for, you know, our whole country, really. So thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. And I thought you were amazing on stage here when you're presenting, and I just love that you're so real and down to earth, and you're just you, and you've got this beautiful soul that comes through. So thank you just for being you, Jennifer. Thank you everyone for sharing. What I would love for anyone that hasn't shared, or anyone that thought of something else on Challenge Yourself Daily, if you're on that group, which I think most of you are, please share your photos, share your highlights. That's what that group is for. So just, you know, load it up with some stuff. We want to see as much from Spectacular as possible, because remember, there's people on that group that didn't go, and we really want to paint the picture of why they should be going to the next event. So we really want you to share what you got out of it, because sometimes someone might not relate to me, but they might relate to you, and the way that you've seen it, you know, through your eyes. So make sure that you always share, okay? So I'm just going to quickly share before Ross comes up. So on the Friday, I got to go to the Tab Team Active World Team section, and it was really great because Enrique came up on stage, and he's just so colourful anyway. But what he did is he actually played all these different songs, just a snippet from each song, and he said, if you really feel the music, then stand up. And what he did is he actually related each song to a personality type. So it was 4 personality types. There was the Pearl, the Sapphire, the Ruby, and the Emerald, and they all had different traits. And it was really great because he split us into 4 groups once we worked out which group we wanted to be in, and then all the qualities that came from that. And then he got us to write a list of all the positives of what we felt about Herbalife, and some negatives on the things that can come into, you know, just experience with people, I suppose. And of course, there was more positives than negatives, which is great. And then we got to get up on stage and we got to read out some of the highlights. And I just thought it was really fantastic because he actually related it to that there are different personality types in the business, and if you know what they're attracted to and what their strengths are, then you can show them how Herbalife can be for them. So don't try and make them do Herbalife the way that it doesn't appeal to them. Try and make it attractive for them by knowing their personality type. So I thought it was fantastic. I'm going to put some of those slides up as well. I know I put them in a chat group, but I'll put them onto the group for you to have a look at, just so you know what I'm talking about. And I thought that was a real highlight that I wanted to share with you. So what we're going to do now is Ross actually went through some of the information from the weekend and just compiled just condensed version that he's going to run through, just to really give you a snippet of the personal development that we got from the weekend, because I really feel that is such a big part of what we do. If we don't work on ourselves, well, guess what? We're not going to move forward. So I'm just going to flick through. Here's some more photos of the party. So we had Justice Crew, some of the girls that are all dressed up, ready to go. It was a Latin-inspired party as well. And I think that's it. And we're ready to go, Ross.
Cool, Shelley. So, fantastic weekend. That was only our second time we've been to a spectacular. Second year in the business, basically, second spectacular. Last year we went on our own. We were very new, really didn't know very much. This year we took 3 team members, which was fantastic. So that got some other people inspired and moving forward. Really, the biggest thing I really honestly got out of the weekend, and if I look at my history, so without going right into it, so 5 years ago I lost the plot with Woolworths Corporation, sat on a lounge for nearly 2.5 years, did nothing, watched TV, and so from that point of view, to come into Herbalife, to start to get personal development, and I know in the last 12 months I've probably done a lot on myself, but that was what I wrote down the most out of the whole weekend, was the personal development that even I need to kick myself forward and go forward from there. You know, Enrique was listening to music. I thought, well, I've got to start downloading some certain music that inspires me. I've got to read more than I'm reading at the moment. I know I'm reading a fair bit, but I've got to read more than I really am already. And there's things that, you know, the TED Talks need to download. I need to download the Goldcast talks and all those bits and pieces. So just continuously every day. We haven't actually chucked the TV out yet, but we thought about cutting the cords on the television since we come home, but we'll just leave them off for the moment. But we actually haven't watched TV since we came home, so it's great. So yeah, so personal development is the biggest thing we really, really need to work on. And before I go any further than that, somebody said to me when we left the meeting on the Sunday afternoon, and it's really what we say. We all go to the gym. All the bike riders go and exercise and exercise and exercise and exercise. The one muscle we don't work on is the one between our ears. It really is that muscle that we don't do anything about. And if you watch that video once we were there that saw the poor girl that fell over, yeah, sure, she made her body hurt, but if she hadn't had that power, positivity in herself, she could have still had on the track and cried, or she could have got up and won the race. So it just shows that we can do anything if we start to believe in ourselves and go from there. So.
Cool. And obviously there's lots of different types of personal development. There's reading, you can listen to audios, you can jump on myherbalife.com.au. There's a whole video library there, YouTube. So there's, and I know that I think we're going to upload the Mark Hughes volume 1, 2 and 3 onto the group, so people can start accessing those things as well. And so there's lots of different ways, but remember, it's not just reading and listening, it's putting it into practice to overcome an obstacle or get through a challenge. That's true personal development. So now, Rose, did you want me to go to the next slide? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not bad. So remove the self-doubt. Obviously that's what Enrique was pushing and really, really showing on the weekend. And like on the weekend, I done a few firsts. Obviously we were bantering a little bit with Shelley on who could do the most walk and talks and bits and pieces from around situations. And luckily for me, I ended up in the front of the cab all the time, so I was the one that got to pay for the cab rides all the time, which is great. That's okay. But I got to do something that I'd never actually done before, and I actually did the form. I actually formed the cab driver. I actually asked the specific questions, and I've just always gone and go, yeah, whatever, and just asked whatever questions I did. But I literally went through with him and said, oh, is this your only job? Oh, no, it's my second job. Oh, so you need money? Yes. And just got him to tell me the points that I needed him to tell me to go, well, you really need Herbalife. Got a wife at home. On maternity leave, just had this second child. She's looking to go back to work. So he just told me all the things he needed to tell me to say to me, hey, really, you need this Herbalife operation. You need to have a conversation. That's what we did from there. So yeah, just remove the self-doubt and just go from there. And obviously, Shelley, the next slide really says it all as well.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, it was great that you did, just letting, because everyone in the taxi, there's more than one person. So obviously everyone was listening to you do that, or when whoever took in turns talking to the taxi drivers, because it's good practice, number one, and you can have a bit of fun with it, and then you're teaching your team all at the same time, so all these things are happening, and what have you really got to lose if you just do it? So okay, next slide.
So Enrique was basically, what's your vision, and then is your daily action matching it? And that's one of the things we all go, yeah, we want to achieve this, we want to do that, but do we actually get up? Do we put our shoes on? Do we go outside? Do we do the walk and talks? Do we do the flyers? What are we actually doing every day to match the vision of what this is about? And often I turn around to our team and say, hey, if this was a normal job, you'd go to work and you'd be busting your butt and you'd be doing everything you can do. Why do you not take this seriously enough? And that's half the problem I see. We don't see how serious, what potential we can help other people with, other than what we do with this TFS. So just make sure whatever you vision, whatever you want to see, you're starting to do the work according to wherever your vision is. It is your vision, it's not mine. It's just what your vision is, where you want to end up.
Yeah, I think it's having that realistic expectations of what someone says they want to achieve. If they're not doing the action to match that, then they've got to change the outcome. And I remember Gary always saying that, our business is just too cheap. He said instead of $81, it should be $81,000, and then people would work for it because they would actually take it more seriously. So I remember, that always sticks in my mind about really, making the most of this opportunity. It's more than an $81,000 business. It's much more than that. So treat it like that.
The other one from Enrique was this one was the 5 seconds of courage can change someone's life. And he virtually said further that a family's wellness and an entire community's impact by you taking just 5 seconds of courage. And I can give an example just before Christmas, and it was virtually 3 weeks before Christmas. We've been trying to encourage somebody to come down from one of the car yards. She was like the girl in the reception. We walked in a couple of times, had a conversation, come down and try to show. We used to go around the town every Friday doing that. And every week she'd get, oh yeah, I haven't got time. And then one Friday afternoon she said, I'll come down before 2 o'clock. And it was 20 to 2. I mean, I'm bucket this. So I just walked back down to her office and said, come on, virtually grabbed her by the arm. I didn't physically grab her, but I virtually did and said, no, I don't care. She's got a meeting at 2. I said, I don't care. Come and try this. I can do it in under 20 minutes. So she did. She came down. She tried it. That afternoon, she lost her job at 2 p.m. because they sacked her just before Christmas. She was one of the team members that was spectacular this year because of 5 seconds of courage. So where she goes to is up to her, her vision, her power, whatever she does. But at least I took the courage to go, I don't care, I'm going down, I'm going to do what we can do to get something. So we've all just got to remember that at times. It's not about us, it's about what we can do for someone else. And that's the biggest thing we look at most of the time when we're doing what we're doing. So yeah.
Cool. It's a great visual, little goldfish trying to jump into the bigger bowl, using his 5 seconds of courage.
Absolutely. So I love this. Our job is really simple. Use all the products that we can afford, obviously. Help everyone else use all the products that they can. Recruit a distribution network. Attend every event to learn jobs 1 to 3. It's really, our business is so simple. We all so overcomplicate it. And it's really that simple. Take the products, get a result, help everyone else use the products, help get other people to do the same thing, and then get everybody you can at every event you can so they can see the bigger picture. Yeah, so I really love that slide.
Yeah, it's a great checklist, hey?
Absolutely. And this one, Enrique put it up as obviously samples, educate, inspire, new COI. And if you think about it, sample, it's really a trial pack. It's a 3-day trial pack or whatever you choose to be. Educate, it's a retail clientele. Get that clientele in retail so you educate them about how great the product is. We inspire our new members. And then we obviously create new COI. Like, that's one thing I picked up from Enrique. He said he went and he ran out of his COI, so he said, what do I do now? So he started to join different places and bits and pieces to find new COI, and he's got himself into different things. So we don't probably do that enough. And yeah, you move the samples to trial, educate to retail, and inspire to become a member. Absolutely where we need to be going.
Yeah, but I think Jim Rohn always says, you know, the river forever flows. Like you're never going to run out of people to talk to, but you've got to put yourself out in those situations so that you can meet more people. You know, don't hide yourself away. You know what did Duran say? You know, you've never met a rich hermit, so don't be a hermit. Get out there and get around people.
So obviously the mark is believe in mark is a vision, and that's the biggest thing. I suppose that's probably one thing that I've changed in my headspace given the last, I would say 6 to 12 months. I really believe in that one formula canister on every kitchen table in the world. Now, I can't do it on my own. One of the things I said to one of the team members on the way back, she used to work for Travelland many times ago, and I said, if you had one person come in the office and you were on your own, how many people can you serve? She said, I don't know. She said, 1. I said, right, you've got 10 team members, who can you serve? I can now serve 10. I said, if you now teach people to be able to do the same thing, the number just multiplies and multiplies and multiplies. And we can't do it on our own. We need to get one formula canister in every kitchen table. That's where we need to end up. And yeah, if we believe in that vision alone, that's where it's going to get us to go forward. Yeah. And this is the reality of it. Care more for others than you'll be taken care of. Like, so often, that's what I suppose I fully believe in. We just do what we can whenever we can. It's that attitude of the pay it forward. And some of you may or may not have heard this story. It would be months back now, we were driving into Gympie, got to the first little traffic lights, and the poor guy was on looked like a 1000cc motorbike, fairly elderly gentleman was laying on the side of the road. And I just pulled up in the middle of the road and hazards and just jumped out. I didn't care who was behind, so I stopped. Walked up to him and said, have you been hit? No, I haven't. Okay, are you all right? What happened? I slipped over. All right. He couldn't lift that motorbike up. I just said, don't worry about it. I ride motorbikes, let's stand up on the wheels, let's see if we can get it to go, and we get you out of the road. And that's what it's about, caring more for everyone else. It's about paying it forward. It's about doing whatever we can to help someone else, make the vision, make the mission bigger than us. And that's totally what I believe in. So,
yeah, I think that was, Enrique just had such a big heart, didn't he? Like, just listening to him, like, it was amazing. And he was so emotional. How many times did he cry in the weekend? So, but yeah, it was great. And I think we all need to do that, just to care more for others and do more. Just go beyond if you can, and just do what you can. That's really what life's about. If you do that, things will come back to you anyway. I have no doubts about that.
So, Mark, your success is only limited by your own imagination, your own hard work. And that is the truth. Realistically, we can achieve anything we want as long as we're prepared to work hard for what we achieve, what we want to achieve. So, yeah. And then Enrique put a whole heap of slides up again, which is really great. And like, you can't copy more, but you can go through your own way and your own personal development and do whatever. But he says, be the change you want to see. Don't fail because you didn't do something. Enrique just put so many bits and pieces to this up, and if you just want to roll through to the next one, shall we? We'll go from there. Yeah, wake up and dream. Stop waiting. Start working. Work. Enrique just kept putting all these bits and pieces up towards the end, just trying to motivate us to get up, go to work. Because to me, work in what we do is talk to somebody. Technically, in the end, it's eyeball, unless obviously we can't, then we can Zoom to Zoom, or we can FaceTime, or whatever we can do. But we really need to be talking to people is what our job is. Getting past that fear, going and talking to somebody, keep going and talking to somebody until you find a person that wants to listen to you and inspire them to go further forward.
Yeah, I like that wake up a dream, because imagine how many people have given up on their dreams. And really, with you step out and just go and talk to someone, you're really, what you're doing is you're helping them wake up their dream and start giving them some hope. So I really loved this slide. I think that's basically what we do, aren't we? We're helping people wake up their dreams.
All the time, yeah. Fitness, I like that. And really, I need to wake up with this one's concerned, because I don't exercise. I must admit, I do not do exercise. I don't enjoy it. Sorry, Kerry. I just do not enjoy it. But I'm going to have to turn myself around and do something about it. Because, look, and one of the things I have got people into the business or product, I have said to people, I lost 15 kilos with doing no exercise. So I just took 2 shakes a day, 3 supplements, and had a healthy meal, and I lost 15 kilos. So it works. But where could I turn it into if I seriously got my act together? I've dropped my health age from being someone that was over 50 when I'm 50 to someone that's 35 with no exercise. What can I do if I actually seriously got my act together with? And I don't like it. But I've got to try and find some exercise that I enjoy. And what I've been thinking about is having stuff around my property. I'm on 2 acres, so I want to go and get a whole heap of rocks so I can pick up from one point to the other and carry them. Something that I can do because I don't enjoy the gym. Gym is it's boring from my point of view. That's me. But I need to, and I understand once I do that, I can't make it a hobby. I need to, like Enrique said, I've got to turn it into a lifestyle and turn it into a change. And that'll give me another product result when I start to do that as well. So, yeah, which is great, fantastic.
Oh, well, we're looking forward to seeing that, Ross, seeing some of your results from Yard Fit.
And then what are you waiting for? Your time is now. There are a couple of other slides that they're different than what Enrique had up, but the words of what he had is, what are you waiting for? And your time is now. We're the only ones. At the end of the day, we're the only ones who can put those shoes on, walk out the front door, and go and do something about it. We are the only ones to do it. We just got to get that courage and have that. And honestly, the more and more and more you do it, it just gets a little bit easier, a little bit easier, a little bit easier, a little bit easier. And one of the best things that I inspired from is listening to the Tony Robbins style conversation. And one of the books he writes in, there was a lot of motivation speakers at the time that were going places, not going places. And Tony Robbins, within the book, virtually, one of the people said, why are you succeeding in going forward? And he virtually turned around to them and said, you're doing one motivational talk somewhere, wherever it may be, once a week. So you're going to get 52 times better by the time the year's over. He was doing 3 a day. So he was getting what's that? 3 a day, 5 days. He was 15 times better than at the end of the week than what they, by the end of the month, he was as successful as what they were going to be in a year's time.
Yep.
And he, like he said, he stuffed it up. He got nervous, and you look at him today and you go, that guy couldn't. There's no way. But it's like all of us. We're just realistically, we got to be prepared to go out and realistically stuff it up and make a mistake and go, okay, all right, fair enough, learn from that. Because the quicker we do that, the quicker we successful from there. And it's just what we've got to understand and what we've got to think about, and just get out there and do it. That's really what it comes down to. Like the cab ride was easy in the end. Doing the two, we did the two there, and it wasn't a problem, right? I know, like one of the ones Shelley was doing, and because she had to help Anne-Marie out of the car, I knew we hadn't closed the sale, if you want to call it, or closed the conversation. So I just come in with and I said, you need to ring Shelley if that's what you want to do. And yeah, and we were just looking for conversation. It was just lucky the two cab drivers were Indian. And basically, oh, do you know who Rick Crowley is? Oh, yeah, I know the cricketers. Oh, great, we used to love India. So it was really easy. And one thing I found about the cab driver was good, couldn't get away from me. He's stuck with me until he drops me off. Unless he kicks me out early, he's stuck with me. He can't get away. He's taking me to the airport and he's trying to get dollars out of me. So, I can talk to him the whole way, and I know how long the cab ride roughly is going to be. So, just try to make it as casual as I possibly could, and just asking some basic questions. Hey, how you going? What are you doing? Where are you from? It's pretty obvious where it's from, but still ask. This is your only job. Most cab drivers, it's not their only job. One cab driver we got, you went, oh yeah, this is my only job. Oh really? Why is that? Oh, it gives me the flexibility in lifestyle. I don't like going to work. It's great. He just told me he wants flexibility. He just told us all the answers of what we needed to be able to get him to say, hey, you need to come and have a talk to us guys. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Thank you, Russ. Yeah, well, I think I've always been told we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should do more listening than we do talking, which is obviously something I have to work on. But the more questions you ask, the more you find out, and then you can give them a Herbalife solution. So I think we definitely put that into practice on the weekend. Thank you very much, Ross, for going through this. We really appreciate it, and everyone for sharing. So definitely your time is now, everyone. We're not going to wait. We're really going to go for it this year. And I just wanted to quickly go through just the promotions. I know we're at the end of the time, so I'm going to run through it quickly, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the presentation, the PowerPoint for all the promotions, so you can use them for your group onto Challenge Yourself Daily, okay? So you can print off all of them and put them around your office or at home, and you can share them with your group too. So I'm just going to stop sharing. 2 seconds, just so I can go through to the other present. Oh, okay, it's not letting me do that. Okay. All right. Give me 2 seconds. Escape. Close. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly go through this. Hang on 2 seconds, guys. I've got a massive storm as well. Can you see that? Guys, can you see that? No? Okay. Can you? Oh, okay. I don't know what I'm doing as usual.
Shelley, open it first on your desktop, then share the screen.
Okay, so I should have got Kerry to do this. Okay, it's not letting me do it. I don't know why. So you can't see that, Kerry?
No, we've just got you, darling. Have you opened the presentation first?
Yes.
Did you unshare your other screen?
I think so. Just wait.
All right. Share screen. When you press share screen, it should show everything that's on your desktop. And then you click on the presentation you want.
Just this one, but it's not letting me do it. Is it? Okay.
Okay.
Is that up? Okay.
There we go. Something's happening. Woo!
Okay. Is that right? Yes.
Well, we've got the extravaganza.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. I'm muting. You've done well, babe.
Yay! I didn't wipe out the whole thing. I'm so happy. Okay, so we're just going to run through them quickly. Then I'm going to load this onto Challenge Yourself Daily, or I can PM it to you. So it's a whole presentation. Okay, so we have our extravaganzas basically worldwide. So for Australia, or for the Australasia, I suppose. It's May 13th to the 11th to the 13th in Singapore. So this is really exciting. What a beautiful city to go to. We just had so much fun last year. I pushed Anne-Marie in that wheelchair around the botanical gardens, and it was so worth it. She had an amazing experience, and this is a beautiful city to go to. So make sure you write all the dates down, put it in your diary, and then start working towards this. This will be we'll have our Chief Executive Officer, Rich Goodis, and Dr. David Heber, who's a fantastic speaker and on our medical advisory board. So we're in for a real treat to hear from them. So this is an international event, so it's a real eye-opener for anyone that hasn't been overseas. You get to travel, you get to meet people from all different nationalities as well, and it gives you a real appreciation for how tough they have it in those countries and how easy we have it here. I always hear some of the stories. These guys just grab it and they run with it. So put this in your diary. Tickets are available as of yesterday, so you can go on and order on myherbalife.com.au, and for anyone in New Zealand, they can order tickets as well. We have a World Team Leadership Weekend coming up on the Gold Coast on August 25th and 26th. So here are some of the qualifications, but I'm not going to run through them tonight because we are a little bit over time, but I will put these slides up for you to have a look. So have a look at the qualifications. If you're not sure how to do it, get back to your coach and they'll walk you through how to do it. There's different components that you can qualify for, and it's a higher level training. These tend to happen every single quarter of the year. And we have a Tab Team Masterclass as well tied into that on the Friday, that this is a brand new type of training that they've put together. So this is how you qualify for it as well. The Rising Star program has been upgraded as well, so that it gives you a different, level of experience. And the Leadership Development Weekend, LDW, which is different than the World Team for New Zealand. Running through them quickly, sorry guys. And the Success Summit. So these are the ones I want you to write down for Australia. So that's April the 21st. And that's our Success Summit. So put these in your diary. And there's the qualifications as well on how to qualify for those. And these are for new supervisors and fully qualified supervisors. So you need to be a supervisor to attend this event. So I recommend that once I load this up, print out all the flyers. If you're not sure how to qualify it, get back to your sponsor and they're going to show you how to do it step by step, and they'll map out a plan for you on how to do it. So that's basically all the promotions, and I'm sorry that I rushed through them, but we are a little bit over time. This training has been recorded tonight, so if you would like to a copy of it, I'll put it on Challenge Yourself Daily, and I'm just going to close that down. Cool. So I just wanted to thank everyone for sharing tonight, and it was really great meeting some of you in person for the first time at the Spectacular. Make sure you map out the rest of the events that are coming up for this year into your diaries, and like I said, print them all out as well. So thank you everyone for sharing tonight. We really appreciate it. Have a great night, and make sure. Yes, Kerry?
Sorry, Jennifer's just asked me to remind the new people that your call's normally Monday night.
Yes, so it's Monday night 7:30, and I can either send out the link, PM it to your email, which I have done, or you can jump on Challenge Yourself Daily. So it's a secret group, so you will need someone to add you to that. So if you're not sure, just let me know, like I did with Sue. I added her on the weekend, and then you can get all the call details. So our team call is every Monday at 7:30 PM, and we definitely want lots of people to contribute, and we also are going to map out a fantastic call schedule for the rest of the year. So thank you for the reminder, Jennifer. Everyone have a great night, and thank you for sharing. Bye.